Hello everyone, my name is Mario Amaro and I'm going to be going over the benefits of going paperless. In the 7 years I've been in the Navy, I have seen the Navy progress towards its goal of becoming paperless. We've changed a lot of our programs that used to use a lot of paper to electronic versions now, like our maintenance and material management program. This program was used to organize and manage our preventive maintenance on equipment or on the ship. And there was a lot of paper involved in this because of just verifying that people did their job. Now the Navy decided to go electronic, and just to make sure that the supervisor was the one making sure everybody did their job by using the maintenance material management software that was on a computer. And it helped with a lot of organization, time, and frustration. And our tech pubs were also electronic. Instead of having a giant tech pub, the Navy decided to put them in PDF files, which were a great benefit because if we needed to look up something, we can use the search function. Our safety tag system for tagging out circuit breakers or valves also went electronic. We still use paper tags to tag out the valve or the breaker, but as far as verifying and signing for who signed it, it was all done electronically. Our military service records were also put into electronic filing system. We used to walk around with huge folders of our career in the military, and all that has now been put into a server online. Another big reason why the Navy wants to go paperless is because of flooding. We could not just throw the paper overboard if we were underway. It would go through a pulper and a mulcher, and it would get broken down so it could put into the sea. But sometimes the pipes got clogged or the mulcher or the pulper didn't want to work, so it would cause a lot of flooding, and it would make the ship flood. That's a major reason why the military wants to get rid of a lot of the paper on board ships. Also, with my support for military recruiters, instead of sending out letters or having people sign for their vehicles or cell phones, everything's done electronically. For me, if I need something signed or if I need to send something out, it's going to get signed electronically and it's going to be sent out electronically. But I just don't want the Navy to go paperless. I want to see more schools, offices, or other workplaces try to go paperless as well. So I'm going to go over some of the pros and cons of going paperless. And we're going to go over the waste factor, the time, storage, and cost of going paperless. So how much paper do we use? According to the Environmental Protection Agency, America uses around 70 million tons of paper each year. And that's all things paper. Printer paper, books, magazines, newspapers, anything that's made out of paper makes up this 70 million tons. And if you ever lifted or picked up a piece of paper, it doesn't weigh much. So it takes a lot of paper to make 70 million tons. In an office workplace, a single person will print out 10,000 pages per year. And every day, they'll waste on average about 6 pages. That's 1,410 pages a year of wasted paper. At home, we use paper to write, to jot things down. We use paper in our books. We use paper for just about anything at home. So that's more paper that's being used. What are the benefits to the environment of going paperless? It would definitely help with some of the pollution. Paper makes up 28% of municipal solid waste. That's over a third of the waste just made out of paper. Making it also causes a lot of pollution. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of water to create paper, not to mention how much it takes to break down the trees into its fibers. Paper is only recycled 66% of the time. That's a good number, but it's not 100%. That means 34% is being wasted. Trees. It takes one tree to make about 8,300 sheets of paper. Now, that all depends on the size of the tree and the type of tree and the fibers, but that's on average. So what we said earlier is that an average person uses 10,000 sheets of paper a year. That's more than one tree. So if one person is using one tree, imagine how much everybody's using. How many trees we're cutting down to make that 10,000 pages per year? Productivity would definitely increase if we go paperless. In the workplace, email is one of the greatest tools ever invented. I would rather use email than to send a letter across the office or to send a letter through a building, across a city, across the nation. Using email is faster and way more sufficient. Networking. Instead of looking for a file in a drawer or in a filing cabinet, if it's posted on the shared drive, all you have to do is search for it. Makes things faster. Storage. Speaking of filing cabinets and files, instead of having cabinets all over the place, you can have them on a hard drive or on disk or CDs. At home, instead of having a huge library of books, you can have one little Kindle and read. Same thing with the office. It definitely helps with the storage. You would have less storage and more space to move around. And the organization. I don't know if any of y'all have been through trying to find taxes or old files at home, but it's so much easier now that I put them on my computer and I can just search for them. Now, of course, to go paperless, we would need the technology, and the technology is there. The technology has been there for about 10 years now. And with the progression, it makes going paperless easier. With the upgrades to computers, to faster tablets, to doing just about anything on our phone, to even now our TVs are becoming smart TVs. Going paperless is going to be easier with our modern technology. Cost. What is it going to save you? It's going to save you from purchasing a lot of paper and a lot of storage to put that paper. And that includes books, newspapers, magazines, writing paper, journals. All that can be put into one place. It can fit into technology. And with technology, books, newspapers, and magazines can be purchased at a place like Amazon.com at a discounted price if you buy electronically. Ink. Ink's not cheap. It would definitely save you a lot of money in purchasing ink. But what is it going to cost? Updating technology. Technology is moving faster than Superman racing a speeding bullet. But it's also getting cheaper and it's getting more proficient. So it's definitely worth it to buy technology than to buy more paper. Now let's talk about some of the cons of going paperless. Like I said earlier, the constant updating of technology. It just keeps moving forward and everybody wants to purchase the new thing. Cost. The more modern the technology or the more high end, the more it's going to cost. The more it's just how it is. If you want some of the better features, you got to pay more money for it. Sometimes features aren't needed, but we still pay that extra cash for them. Storage, I know I said earlier that storage was a pro, but it could also be a con, especially with some of the technology like our phones or smaller tablets. It's getting easier as they keep moving forward with the cloud. But as is right now, you can run out of storage on your phone or on your computer, and you just have to purchase another one. Reading. If you're reading on a tablet or your phone, or even on a computer screen, sometimes the lettering can be too small, or it can be too bright, and it's really hard to read. And of course, malfunctioning. Technology breaks. You have to have a backup. You have to have a backup to the backup. So just in case something goes wrong. Is it worth it? I'm not saying to get rid of all paper. Paper is always going to be around. That's a fact. We're always going to need it. But we don't need it for everything. And for the things we don't need it for, we have the technology now to make the change. So is it worth it? Yes. It's worth it for the environment and for your pocket. It's going to save you money. I really hope you enjoyed my presentation and take a chance to go over what was mentioned today. Have a wonderful day, everybody.